Hey guys, it's Tiny Tom Logan back with another video for you, and today we're going to be looking at something completely different. I've never done anything like this on the channel before, and I would say, as far as I'm concerned, it's a little bit quirky as well. It's a bit nerd porny, but it's something I saw at a show recently and I really liked it, and I asked MSI to send me some of these things over. Now we've got a selection of essentially naked motherboards. It's just the base motherboard. There's no components on it whatsoever, and I've got a few different ones to show you. We've got the Z87i, which is the MITX board, which we'll look at first. Then we've got the Z87 G43. Then we've got the Z87 Mpower, and then right at the very end we'll do the GD65 Gaming. And like I said, it is just the bare motherboard. Now they come in sealed packets. Let me make sure I can see what I'm doing. They come in sealed plastic, like vac wrapped packets, and I've cut them already so that I can get them out. Now this one is the only one that comes with two of the boards in it, but we'll just look at one. Now this is very, very kind of different and unique, and like I said, it's just, for me personally, what I'm probably going to end up doing is mounting these on a bit of acrylic or something, or maybe even getting a professional to frame them and having it as like art in the office. But the reason why I thought I'd show you is I was completely taken back by these, and when I first saw them at the event thing, I was just constantly looking at them. So what I thought was I would just let you do the same, because essentially, obviously, this is where your CPU socket would go. Down on this right hand side is where the memory clips would go in, and you can see, if you get the light, you can see that there are holes there for all the pins for the memory sockets to go in, and then they're soldered on the back. Something that I did find quite interesting though is, if you have a look, you can see the pins here, you can see the pins for the PCI Express here. There's no pins for the CPU area. So that's obviously just, you know, they obviously hold it and then heat it, and that's how that bit gets soldered on. Down this side would be your I/O. We'd have the 24-pin power up here. Again, you can see the little holes for the pins to go through, for it to be soldered directly into place. And this would be like where your MOSFET area would be. And obviously, like I said before, you've got like the CPU mount and the clear area here. Now, like I know we're just looking at an empty bit of what's essentially just a bit of silicon and copper, but it's the first time I've ever really, especially had them in my hands to, you know, that they're mine, to be able to show something off like this. And I just thought it was so unique that you guys would love to see it as well, because I think they're brilliant. Like I said, I'm going to turn these into art, so I'm definitely going to be doing other stuff. You know, maybe I'll show you, but we'll go from the bottom up. So we've done the ITX. Now this is the next one that we're going to do, is the it's the Z87 G43. Now you're thinking G43, so it is, you know, one of the lower end ones, but it's still an ATX size motherboard. As we can see, we've got the mounts here and here, and you've still got those points, you know, where the pins would go through and they get soldered from the back. So all of these points here will have soldered bits. All up the memory, they're up there, they'll have soldered bits. All the PCI Express, all the USB, Firewire, external audio, I/O for the front and everything, they'd all have points come through here to be soldered. I don't think this board has any buttons as such, but you would have all the points up here for your I/O, which would be like your USB at the back, your onboard video at the back, your Ethernet and everything like that. And on this side, it's obviously you've got your 24-pin and your USB 3, but you can see that all the points are, especially like around the chipset. If I bring that in, hopefully it'll focus. You can see you've got copper solder points there. Got the copper points on the CPU, all around the outside of the PCI Express and PCI lanes. You can see you've got the copper solder points. It's the same on the back. But like I said, it was just something I had to ask to try and get them, because it was just, I didn't realise that they obviously it's not something you really think about, that this is going to arrive in, you know, boxes in the factory, and then you've got factory workers that are going to be soldering different points of these on, and there's going to be a little assembly line, and they're all going to do their own bits. And I just, like I said, I suppose I just never thought about them being like just a naked board like this. And I wanted to have a look. I thought I'd share it with you as well. So if you can hear fans in the background, I am starting to try and do testing again. So we've got a rig benching in the background. I'm just changing the board over. We've now got the Z87 Mpower. Now straight away when you look at this, you can almost see that this looks a lot cleaner around the CPU area. We can also see that we've got a lot more power regulators around the CPU area as well. These are obviously where the MOSFETs and the caps and everything will go. Also down this side, if you look, it's a lot busier around the area up here where we're going to have voltage reading points. There's going to be power switches, or they're down the bottom. We've got voltage reading points. We've got a poster LED readout. I think that's that. But then we've got power switches and stuff down here as well. Power reset. Then we've got the base clock buttons that you can turn on and off. Or turn on and off. You can put them up and down rather. And then you've got the USBs and stuff. There's definitely a lot more going on this board around the outside. When you have a look, you can see it's a lot busier, you know, around this kind of area. But when you get to that CPU area, you can see it's all kept nice and relatively clear. Also, the first PCI Express has been moved down, or PCI Express 16 has been moved down a bit, obviously to aid, you know, the massive heat sinks, or, you know, sub-zero cooling or whatever you wanted. And also, if we have a look around the back, you can see the audio line around here. Now obviously this would have LEDs in it, they're white actually, and then but this is yellow, so they show up yellow from this side. But that's the audio separator around here for the Pro Audio. Let me go around there, and then this bit here is where they have the what was it called, boost audio or something they call it. But that's your Z87 Mpower board. This one you can definitely see a lot more copper on it when you think, especially compared to this one. We put them side by side so that you can see. Get it in the shot from there we go. So we've got the Mpower there, and then we've got the G43 here. You can definitely see there's a lot more copper points on this. So this is going to be a much more expensive board to produce as well, because we've got obviously more MOSFETs. There's going to be more componentry going on there. Something I have just noticed, and I don't know whether that's a purposeful thing or whether it's just because of this, the samples got pulled at different points. But the G43 is actually a glossy black, and this is very matte. There's no sheen to this at all. But yeah, we can also see that would be where the main chipset is going to be on each one. But this one's got an extra chip down here that you can see goes on. But I think it's really nice to be able to put these side by side like this and just kind of, woo, look at that. Oh, I'll tell you what I have just noticed. I did take the G45, GD65 Gaming out of the plastic, but it comes in a second packet. And this is vac packed again. So I'm going to have to just stop the camera quickly, and I'm going to open this because I'm going to have to cut all the plastic and everything to get this out. Yeah, this one's come in a second package, and you can see it's got a humidity or humiditor, so I'm going to say that's a humidity monitor, and it's got silica in the top as well to keep everything dry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the camera quickly, and I'll be back and I will show you the GD65 Gaming naked PCB. Okay, so I've got the GD65 Gaming out, and this is it here. You can see the little thing. Now again, this is glossy compared to the other one, but if we just have a look at some differences, straight away the first thing is the PCI Express is still down lower compared to the Mpower, but we've got an SATA up here that you can obviously put the tiny little SATA LEDs, micro SSDs in. I will get my words out. Again, we've got the chipset on this side, but we've got no secondary chip. We have got a power, a reset, and then the overclock genie button down here. We've got the post button here. Something that I loved, and I do mean loved, when I reviewed this board is the go to BIOS button, which you can see down here. Now the go to BIOS, essentially when you press it, it takes you to the BIOS. It's fucking brilliant. I love it. It's one of the most amazing buttons in the world, especially when you're in and out of it like I can be. Lots of SATAs down here, USB 3, external. We've got VCore checkpoints again up here, but again, you can see there's an awful lot of copper around that board. Now, the GD65 Gaming is probably one of my favourite boards to date from any of the manufacturers. I would say my favourite two are this at the moment and the Gigabyte Sniper M5, because they're both around the same sort of price. They both perform very, very similarly, but we've got one ATX one, nice dark little black red little red bits on it, which is this one, and then the M80X board, it's a black and green Sniper kind of colouring as we've got used to, but it's just the fact that it's even though it's a smaller form factor, it still packs a wicked punch. And like I said, they're both around the same sort of money. One thing with this is we've not got the separate audio cut out around here, and I think that it's kind of confusing that we've got better audio on what is aimed at as an overclocking board than what's aimed at the gaming motherboard. I think that should be the other way round. I think we should have better audio on the gaming board, because audio, you know, gamers want better audio, and maybe you don't want to pay out for a mega graphics card. And if you're going to be using this as an overclocking board, then you're probably not going to ever attach audio to it anyway. I know people use them as day-to-day rigs, but you kind of get what I'm trying to say. Something we can say while they're side by side, GD65 Gaming on this side, Mpower on this side, you can see that the Mpower has more MOSFETs or power delivery around the outside compared to the GD65 Gaming, and this board actually looks a lot cleaner as well when you see it kind of naked like that. And this one, you can see that it is a lot busier, and it does look like there's, you know, more going on. They've put more on the board, all that kind of stuff really. So it is kind of difficult to discuss this kind of stuff with you when basically I just love the way they look, and it's just the uniqueness of the fact that you can have a completely naked PCB in your hand and have a look at this before all the components have been got on there and everything. And like I said, I really do think I'm going to get hold of some framers around and turn these into a bit of art or something for the office, because like I said, it's just completely unique really. I've got some other ideas of kind of nerd art that I want to do, but I just thought I would share some nerd porn with you all, because essentially you don't get much more of a naked motherboard than this. So this is proper 18 plus, dirty little boy, perving through the window, motherboard completely naked status. And yeah, so what do you think? I hope you find this as interesting and intriguing as I did. It is a bit of a strange one. It's obviously not a review that you can do. We're just looking at a plain bit of bare silicon before stuff goes on. But this isn't the type of thing that you generally get to see in a shop or in a magazine or on any of the websites. I've certainly never seen them. So I just thought I would try and bring you something that was that little bit, more unique. So I'm going to love you and leave you with those. Like I said, now I need to get on with other testing. I also need to get the video rendered and everything and to go up with for you guys, but hopefully you've enjoyed it. Please let me know if you did. I will try and sort some other stuff out for the not too distant future. I've just noticed that we've got I keep knocking because I'm only on a bit of white card. I've not got it in the light tent as such today. I just thought I'd make a white background so it looked a little bit better for you. But yes, I'm going to love you and leave you here. It's only the second video that I've made since I've been back from my illness, and obviously you can see I'm not on camera, so I'm still a little bit swollen and looking like Sloth from the Goonies. But I'm going to love you and leave you. This is Tiny Tom Logan with another video for you out. Ding!